what a great opportunity to be with you tonight. I am DJ Strick, and this is the Streamers Hub. So thank you so very much for hanging out with us, whether you're on live with us. Hello, Erica. Or if you're watching this in the replay, guess what? I think you're going to be very interested in what we are doing today. So we are here to help you as a creator. We're going to talk about the art of persuasion. And I have a special guest with me tonight. But before I get to my guest, I want to talk to you about being a part of our streamers partnership program. So if you are watching me today and you're thinking to yourself, I'm a content creator, I work with OneStream. I use the product. I would love to be on a platform like Strick. Guess what? You have an opportunity to join our Streamers Partnership Program. All you have to do is send one of your social media profiles to content at onestream.live. That's it. So content at onestream.live. Send one of your social media platforms that profiles that we can see who you are and what you're doing, and who knows, you could be on the YouTube channel just like me. So that being said, I wanted to go ahead and throw that out really quick, and without any further ado, I had a chance to look at some of our guest material, and I am blown away at an opportunity to speak to someone that does what he does. So, as we're talking about the art of persuasion, I do want to dive down into what he does and how he can help all of us tonight. So, without any further ado, I want to introduce to you Mr. Richard Barker. So very glad to have you on with us tonight, Richard. How are you doing?
Nice seeing you. Thank you very much. Nice to work with you guys and be a part of the Creator Hub.
Man, this is a special night for me because I've never had an opportunity to interview someone that does the type work that you do. Can you tell everybody who you are and what you do?
Yep. So my name is Richard Barker. I am a professional hypnotist. I'm known as the Incredible Hypnotist around the world, incrediblehypnotist.com. And one of the things I do is I basically spend all my time creating content and meeting people also in person, everything to do with hypnosis and hypnotism.
That is awesome. So how did you get into that?
I'll give you the quick version. So I learned hypnosis as a police officer in the 90s, and I learned the power of language, which obviously is one of the most important assets that we have. And what it was in the time where cold cases were becoming a thing. So in the 90s, DNA was new for crime fighting.
Right?
Cold cases were new. And back in the old days, I would go and interview a victim or a victim of crime or a witness and say, "Hey, do you remember in 1962 when you witnessed a crime at a bus shelter? Can you tell me what you remember?" And of course, they're like, "I can't remember, obviously, what happened." And we use a technique called NLP, neuro linguistical programming. Some people might be familiar with, and that helps you recall information that is in your subconscious mind that you don't ordinarily in the waking state, which is what we're in now,
Hmm.
don't ordinarily access. So with a reframing of the technique and the use of language and words and creating stimulus of behavior and more cognitive abilities, more in tune with an emotional context, people started to remember things because we remember everything. It's just in the subconscious mind, right? So when you say I can't remember something, you can remember if you access the right part of the brain, the correct part of the subconscious mind. So that's basically how I learned hypnotism, and I realized this thing, hypnosis and hypnotism is not portrayed the right way in Hollywood.
Right?
um people bring out all these movies. There's a new one coming out to with the full intention of scaring the crap out of people. That tends to be what Hollywood does with
Right?
it, but actually it has a lot of benefits for creating content, selling items, products or services, wellness and health and well-being, and actually as a form of entertainment.
Right.
So I
So
learned.
So that's how I guess I am more exposed to it. And I apologize. I am more exposed to what you do from the Hollywood standpoint. But when you started saying that you began this from your work with the police, it is very interesting to me
Yeah.
Because you are right in saying that, in my mind, that people will remember things and you have to kind of get them to the right place for them to remember exactly what you need. But how do you balance that between, sometimes the brain could be really funny in the fact that sometimes we remember things that aren't true or didn't happen,
Yeah, so sometimes there's two different concepts. One is the mind wants to fill in the blanks.
right?
So you say, if I ask you a question and you genuinely can't remember, the mind wants to fill in the blanks. So you obviously have to have some level of checks and balances, and you have to make sure that what is being said, especially an old or long-term memory, is actually reliable, especially in crime fighting. It's actually a reliable
Right,
source. But the interesting thing is we can remember a lot about ourselves that we're unaware of, and the memories trigger an emotion. So if you haven't had a good upbringing, it can trigger an emotion, right? And if you
right.
sometimes people are triggered by a certain thing, a sight, a smell, a taste, an environment, and it can trigger an old memory, which is actually a hypnotic. It's a hypnotic sort of phenomenon that's happening in your mind. It's creating
Okay.
the illusion of it, bringing to the front all these emotions and memories.
It's like going to your mother's home while she's cooking
There you are.
Thanksgiving dinner, and then as soon as you get in there, you smell the food, and it brings up certain emotions based around eating and the special
Yeah,
time and all of that. Is that kind of thing?
absolutely correct. So here's the thing: if a certain smell brings on a certain emotion and a memory, let's say from childhood, what if a hypnotist can influence that? Like, what if I could actually use that to my advantage and influence a certain smell or a certain way of thinking? And that's the beauty of hypnosis. You're able to deliberately influence a certain outcome. So, on a hypnotherapy side of things, on a clinical side of things, I have a lot of people that are just struggling in life. They've been struggling for years. It might be that they just have a bad temper and they're always angry, or it might be they suffer with anxiety when they're engaged in a sporting activity. They always, they're not very good at public speaking, or they're anxious when they do a live stream in case something goes wrong, or people have all these default responses to things that are in the normal world. So I can equalize and sort of stabilize some of those thoughts that give you a negative consequence by actually improving it and giving you a positive consequence.
That's awesome. So again, I was watching some of your content, and you as part of what you do, there may be groups of people that
Yeah.
you are hypnotizing all at one time. This works on individuals. This works with a group of people.
Yeah.
It is just based off of the words that you say.
It's a deliberate. It's a few different things. It's the words that I say. It's the way that I say them. It's the intonation, and we call it RSVP: rhythm, speed, volume, and pitch, i.e., the delivery. But it's also what somebody expects to happen, right? So what the mind believes it achieves. So if the mind expects something to happen, it's going to happen. So it's funny that people create the scenario first before they experience it, and they just expect it to happen. And the law of the universe is the more you expect it, the more it happens. Like the more you obsess, the more you possess. So misery loves misery, happiness loves happiness, success loves success. It breeds it in the mind first, and then it translates into an outcome, physically an outcome.
So just for I can get context here or add some things, and maybe we
Yeah.
could work through this in my mind to understand. And everybody that's watching today, of course, we're going to be talking about how we could use some of this stuff in content creation. Like you have to be intentional when
Yes.
you're trying to grab people's attention.
Yes.
But we have Richie here that has such a background. I don't get a chance to talk to people that do this kind of stuff every day. And I'm very intrigued, Richard. And I
Yeah.
want us to be thinking about how we in our content are
Yeah.
grabbing people's attention or using, just like he said, a
Yeah.
particular outcome that they're expecting and to give it to them. So, how
Yeah.
you set your shows up, what expectations do you give people when you're setting up your content? But more importantly, Richard, when I want to ask this question because I see it happen all the time in the
Yeah.
States. What city are you from
Well,
or Providence?
so at the moment, I'm in Florida and I'm just south of Tampa.
Okay, great, great.
Yeah.
So good weather down there, right?
Not at the moment. It's like pouring down with rain, but normally, yes.
So
Normally,
so in Tampa or in Florida, you know it rains every day. You give it 30 minutes and it'll be over with, right?
yeah. You can always spot the tourists when it's raining because everyone runs and panics, and Floridians just lay out there on the beach and they don't move. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be over in a minute. Um, so when people like highway driving
Yeah.
in the States rather, someone's on the side of the road, and if you know anything about being on the side of the road, it is the most dangerous place you could ever be
Yes.
because I think it's something goes on in the brain that people are trying to avoid it, and some people actually goes towards it, and it could be a dangerous place. Is that something similar to all the stuff that you talk about in the brain where you're trying to avoid it, but you actually go that direction anyway?
So the brain is lazy. The subconscious mind is by default attracted to, for want of a better description, train wrecks, right? So when you look at all the news outlets, they never lead with a positive story, but they try and end with one, but they're leading with this disaster happened, this flood has happened, this typhoon, this riot, this, that, and the other, because they know the mind is more engaged with, travesty and
The negative.
yeah, the negative, right? And that's just how, I wish we were raised a different way because we could actually change that. But it's just the way society is. It's the same as when you turned 1 year old, generally speaking, at your first birthday, you were given cake, cookies, candy, ice cream, and you were given a birthday cake, right? The birthday cake had your name on it. Probably it might have been full of sugar and icing and everything else. What you didn't get was a carrot cake, and what you didn't get is nuts and berries and all the positive and healthy things for you because that's perceived to be boring. So,
Right.
yes, it's a society thing. We are programmed to believe that cookies, candy, and treats are a reward at the earliest of ages. We're taught to believe from the earliest age that the most exciting news is the negative news and the negative things. So we gravitate towards it. So when you do see an accident on the highway, the other side of the road slows down so everyone can take a look. The rubberneckers, and that's just the
Right.
we're programmed. But you can actually teach your kids. It's funny how a lot of homeschool kids that are taught different things and have different values and different purpose seem to lead a more prosperous, healthy, just a better life because they're not contaminated as much from their center of influence. So a lot of what hypnosis is, it's all about changing the center of influence. It's altering the state of subconscious thinking and altering it for a positive outcome. A lot of athletes use hypnosis, but they obviously don't advertise it. But LeBron James, used hypnosis when he was at the University of Akron. There are lots of other athletes like MMA fighters that all use hypnosis to help them get that positive mindset. In the 90s, it was positive mental attitude. Now, actually, it's positive thinking, wellness, mindfulness. It's all hypnosis, and it's all designed to help you lead a more prosperous, healthy, a better life. And of course, that would translate into better content. If you're feeling better, your content's going to be better, right? If you're feeling miserable and you hate microphones, and you hate live streaming, you're going to struggle through your live streams if you're not natural on camera. So
Right.
it all starts in your head, and then it all just goes into the emotion, goes into the physicality, goes into how you say it and what you say. And the last thing you want to be thinking of is what deliberately you're saying during your live stream that's going to have a positive impact on your brand or your career, right? So if you can do all of that, you're doing well.
I think that's awesome to even think about. Maybe we're using that hypnosis because it has such a derogatory term or
Yeah.
because we feel like it's entertainment that is not true. Now, this is a business that you've had for a while. How long have you been doing this?
20 years. I actually started in the mid 90s as a police officer. So I was using it forensically, not
Right.
thinking, not thinking of all the other applications that this can achieve, like removing anxiety and all. So the way I bumped into the sort of clinical side of it was through, watching others suffer with PTSD and watching others suffer with trauma. And I always had positive self-talk. So, and I don't know where I got that from. I wasn't taught it. I just had it. So I
Got
think
you.
the more you talk positively to yourself, your self internal communication is hypnosis. And what you say about yourself shall come to pass in public. So if you beat yourself up internally, you beat yourself up externally as well, and then you start to suffer. And so when I sort of got my head around that, and then I saw that one of the medicines of the soul, and one of the ways to reduce stress, anxiety, troubles, worries, and guilt is laughter. It
Right.
releases endorphins. So then I saw comedy hypnosis shows in Vegas, and I'm like, wow, everybody feels good after watching a hypnosis show. People are sort of scared to volunteer in a show, but generally speaking, what I've witnessed is after the show, they feel awesome. They feel relaxed. They feel like they've had a good rest and relaxation and sleep. And Hollywood knows how to sell these kind of hypnotic spins because people sort of gravitate towards it and they're like, what is this stuff? Is this witchcraft?
Right.
And they gravitate towards it. And of course, it couldn't be further from the truth. You can't do anything against your will if you don't want to do it. I can't program you to do things that you don't want to do, but I can have fun with you in the
Right.
process, and I can persuade and influence you to accept something to be true. So
I love it.
that's all good stuff, right?
It is great stuff. So let's dive into it now that I have a better sense of what you do.
Yeah,
And let's see if we can help some people when it comes down to the art of persuasion when
yeah,
we're doing content. If you're a content creator, you're using one stream, you want your shows to be
yeah.
better. Where do we start when we talk about the art of persuasion?
So the first thing is your own mindset. Before you've ever touched a camera, you've gone live or done anything, you have to have all your ducks in a row internally and mentally. So one of the positive ways to do that is just to simply take a deep breath in, to close your eyes, and to then imagine you've had one of the greatest live streams of your life and it was so successful. All the tech went well, everything you said went well, you attracted a nice audience, your CTAs at the end, your offers all went through well, you didn't sound salesy. So the first step is, before you've even gone live, is you imagine as if, it's not acting as if, there's a difference. You don't act as if, because that's kind of fraudulent. Acting as if is kind of, fake it till you make it. The better
Right?
way is you visualize it's already happened. So what the mind believes it achieved, it's going to happen, it's happening, and it's happened. So in this case, it's happened, and you're sitting back and you're looking at almost like an internal video recorder of yourself, and you're looking back and you're going, wow, that was bloody amazing. I mean, I was good on camera. The lighting was perfect, unlike my lighting, because I'm going to Japan tomorrow morning. So so
No worries.
yeah,
Hey, we really appreciate you taking the time to do
no
this today.
problem.
So no worries about your
Of
set.
course. So you see in your head, you go, wow, the perfect studio, just like yours. Everything I said was brilliant, and you play back the snapshot of how awesome it was, and you're like, yeah, this was really, really good. All I have to do is duplicate this success. So the mind will follow success if it's told that you're successful. If you're growing up and you're told that you're poor or you're hungry or you're never going to amount to anything or you're a waste of space, you have to claw your way up in life. And some make it, some don't make it. So, but if you've already told yourself, I'm a rock star at live streaming and I'm a superstar and this is a fait accompli and it's already happened, then that's 80% of all the action. And then the second thing is, when you're closing your
Well,
eyes.
I want to stop you there, Richard, if you don't mind, because I think this is an important part. Because the first thing you're asking people to do is to think about having a successful stream, and you're at the end of it, and having all those emotions of being good at what you do, and
Yeah,
telling yourself you're good, and having that feeling before you even start. So the art of persuasion
yeah,
for your content begins before you even start.
yeah. And
I
see,
love it.
you see, if you look at professional swimmers or athletes, they always visualize they're holding the trophy or they've got the gold medal or they picked up, that they're at the winning line, or they've got thousands of adoring fans. If you're a rock star, there's 100,000 people at the in the arena, and they're all like chanting your name. Whatever it might be, you get to the end first and just work backwards. So, and the other thing is, in terms of a mindset tip, everything's temporary, right? Everything in life. The only thing
Right,
that's guaranteed is death. Everything else is temporary. So we're always in a temporary flux. So if stuff doesn't go well, or stuff isn't going well, or you're fighting with tech, half the time your audience doesn't even know that you're fighting with tech behind the scenes. it's almost like the proverbial swan. It's so graceful up above, but underneath the water, it's paddling like crazy.
Skyline.
Yeah? And so the other thing is, if you run into difficulties, you have to convince and tell yourself it's only temporary. It will pass,
Wow.
which it will pass.
That's good.
So you've got nothing to worry about. Okay. So and then the other thing is, imagine as if you're just going to have a conversation with people. You don't care if one
Right.
person shows up, 100 people. It's just a conversation, and it's actually just a rehearsal for the next one. And it's only going to get better with intensity, right? And then
Right.
this is all preliminary work before the session. You give yourself positive affirmations. So don't forget the power of your external communication, which is what we do on live streams, is the power of your internal. How you talk to yourself internally is how you come across externally. So people that are trying to lose weight, and I use the word try because try means fail. People that are trying to lose weight, they look at themselves and they body shame themselves, they hate themselves, they give themselves all this negative, talk to themselves, and they can never lose weight.
Right.
However, if you change the script each day in every way, I'm losing weight and I'm feeling better every day. I'm getting trimmer, slimmer, leaner, fitter. By every breath I take, by every word I say, I'm relaxing. Therefore, I'm losing weight. A heavy mind is a heavy body. A heavy
Wow.
mind is a bad live stream. A mind that's free, fertile, and loose is going to be a better live stream. Have you ever seen a guitarist that's concentrating on the chords?
Wow.
Not good. Have you ever
Can't
seen
do it. He's not good if they're looking.
but have you ever seen one that closes their eyes and just imagine like they're at the Staples Center, or what was the Staples
And
Center?
they're rocking out.
Jamming out, and it's because they're emotionally connected. So one of the tips with persuasion is the more you emotionally connect with your audience, the better the outcome of the live stream, because it's the like no trust factor. I mean, that's what people are signing into. What I see so many live streams that all start off, with coughing, spluttering, couple of tech issues, spending a long time welcoming all the people in the room, like that social edification at the beginning, which is okay for a little while, but sometimes it's, what it's better to do in a live stream is tell people what's going to happen. So signpost it. It's going to happen. It's happening and happening. So by the end of this live stream, you'll realize the benefits of tuning in. I'm going to deliver, I promise, 1, 2, and 3. And by the end of the session, you'll have 5 different bullet points you'll be able to take away. It's better to tell them what the end result is going to be. But a lot of people, they'll save it till the end, and all the golden nuggets kind of come right at the end because they're about to sell something. It's actually better to tell them right at the beginning, and that all comes from, you have to think in your own head. Okay, I'm relaxed, I'm calm, I'm feeling good. All my worries, troubles, aches, and pains have melted away, and I'm about to deliver some incredible live stream, and I'm going to inject some humor, my personality. Just because it's a laptop or a phone doesn't mean to say your personality has to go out the window. And your authentic self is what's running through your veins. It's actually your DNA. So the more you stop denying yourself of that, and the more you start to just go, I am who I believe myself to be, and I believe myself to be a success. Therefore, I'm a constant success. I'm an unstoppable machine. So that when it comes to live streaming, you can't wait to get to the next one, and your viewers can't wait to show up to the next one.
That's right. I
Because
love that. I
yeah,
love that. You didn't give a number to that, but all of this that he just said, guys, this is gold. Like what you just shared with us, is gold stuff. Like I teach this. I did a course just the other day, and I said that you need to have a hook between the first 2 and 8 seconds, where
yes,
you're drawing people in,
yeah.
and to say why they need to be watching your video, and then you need to tell them what the video is about.
I think people they get confused between scarcity and future pacing, right? So what future pacing is in a few moments, but not yet. See, what the mind expects to happen happens, right? So you've got to set up the mind like 1, 2, 3, ready, set, go. The mind needs to know in a few moments I'm going to get this, so
Right,
I'll stick around till I get this.
right,
And then what you do, you age and ascend them, and you just kind of keep ramping it up. And so they're not going to like click off or tune out, or, because they're waiting for the nuggets, the golden nuggets. So I like to go straight in a few moments, but not yet. You're going to realize the benefits of tuning into this live stream. and then you future pace them. I'm going to cover the art of persuasion, suggestion, embedded commands, and at the end, I'm going to give you a tip and a tactic that you can use from the comfort of your own home that doesn't involve purchasing anything. And I like to say this line, does anybody think I'm going to buy? Does anybody think I'm going to sell them something during this live stream? You do? I'm not going to disappoint you. I'm going to do it at the end. You know, you
I love it.
you give them the hook that at the end it's going to be
Right?
something of value. You may or may not want to buy it, but you're going to stick around because you want to know what the offer is.
Like, Richard, you gave us the whole script. Like, it was right there. Guys, you're going to have to rewind this
Yeah, there's
to
a lot.
hear what he just said, but he gave the whole script to opening your show.
Yeah.
And if I would tell you, if you do what Richard said and practice it, right? I mean, it was all of 15 seconds. Okay, I might have to ask you to do it again, Richard, so people can really
Yeah,
get it.
sure.
It's all of 15 seconds, so you'll know how to start a show that you can engage people in. We're content creators, and like, why are people not staying? You've seen the analytics. You've seen
Yeah.
people leave after the first minute. Why? Because like you said, you're fumbling around, trying to get it going, trying to get it started, and you haven't, even with the live stream, haven't gotten to the point. Now, I do believe in engaging your audience. If you have a community of people,
Yes.
people love to hear their name. Like, I
Yeah.
love to call out
Thank you.
Erica's name
Yeah.
because she's always here with me. And that's part of having a great show. But at some point, even in the replay, people really want to know what your show is about. And you need to change it around to where it's not about you, but about them.
Yeah. So on your live stream, you're there to serve, and people are too slow to ramp up. You were not. You were very quick to cut to the chase, right? So you obviously know what you're doing. You immediately stepped in. I came on super fast. We started delivering content. We didn't do here's a big long story about me and my bio and my we cut to the chase, and it's an interesting backstory. And I do believe everyone should have a backstory so that you can get
Right?
that rapport. Hey, I wasn't born live streaming, and I jumped into this because of XYZ. And what I've learned over the years is this. But what I've also learned is all the power all happens in the mind first. There's no such thing as random thoughts. Everything is deliberate. So that's another one. We don't, and so people
Now,
think,
Richard, I have a bunch of random thoughts now. Come on.
they're not always as random as you think they are. You see, we don't. A lot of people think that they're seeing the world. We see the world around us. We don't. We think the world around us. We think the world, and when we're thinking it, we make a perception of it that becomes an image. So imagine two buses both go on the same excursion, right, on a vacation destination. One bus
Right?
one bus has a miserable time and writes negative reviews. The other bus had a wonderful time, but it's the same destination. When you ask the same people, did you like it? No, it sucked. It was horrible. Did you like it? Yes, it was awesome. What was the difference? It was perception. It was literally
Wow.
what they thought about. So who can influence that? It's the tour guide. You get a good tour guide, you've got a good excursion, right? You get a bad tour
Right.
guide that doesn't say much, you can have a crappy destination. So look at this on a live stream. You have a bad host, you have a bad live stream. You're not going to go back.
Wow.
Your numbers are going to go down. You have a good live stream, it's because your host is good. Live stream is live stream because your host is good. It's like when you go to a real in-person seminar and the person walks through the door and all the room is set up the way it's set up, a typical seminar style, and the person walks in and you look them up and down for like the first 3 seconds. You start at the shoes, and then you work up. You might glance at their watch if they have one, like there's yours right there, and you glance
Right?
up, and there you go. You show your watch off, and you've made an instant impression. And what the mind believes it achieves, and people stand up and they leave. And he hasn't even started yet, or she hasn't begun, and it's because they made this immediate sort of impression, right? Well, when it comes to live streaming, your intro, your intro sizzle is good, the music's good, it gets hyped, and it puts people in the frame of mind. But I've been on lots of live streams where it's like watching paint dry because
Right. Right.
and it's not ramping up and nothing, it's not going. And I think it's important too to, let's just say you have a purpose, you have 10 things you want to say during your live stream. I think it's important to pause and then do something on a more human level. For example, all the viewers watching now, including yourself, can you do me a favor? Just put your hand up. Let me see. Just put your hand up like this. Everyone put your hand up. Make a perfect circle like that. And everyone at home can do this, or on the replay, make a perfect circle. Look at mine, look at yours. Now make a gun, sensitive in America. Make a gun, make a perfect circle. Look at the tops of your fingers, make the peace sign. Peace. Make a perfect circle. Look at mine, look at yours, and put it right there on your chin. Put it right there on your chin. Yeah, see where's your chin at? It's down. It's down there. So you're just engaging into the subconscious, simple Simon Says. And I do think you need to be able to do small things that are engaging, that are little microscopic hooks, if you will, that people don't know what's coming next. Like, wow, this is great. I thought this was just going to be a boring lecture demo that turned into a, oh no, by the way, everyone put your hands out in front of you, and you're able just to do a couple of things that looks good on camera, that looks good to people at home, that gets a little giggle. I bet everybody there was just like, oh,
Right. You said chin, but of course I went here first.
and it's just a little subconscious thing because you get conditioned to do as I say, to follow the leader. We all get conditioned to follow the leader. So,
But you said certain words there that made me follow you.
Yes.
You said, make it look just like mine.
Yeah. Look at mine.
So when I was looking at yours,
yeah,
and I was making it look just like yours, you said, okay, now put it on your chin, and then you went to your head, and I was just mimicking what you do. But how, putting that into the context of being a content creator, and you're drawing people in, and you're saying, hey guys, I want to help you with your setup. Okay, I want you, these are the lights that you have. This is how my lights look. If you set up the lights like this is the outcome that you can have. I have a light here, I have a light here, and one over here.
Yeah.
And those things could really help people, right?
Yeah, I think all the tech and all the setup is good, in a sense of obviously assisting in the quality of a live stream. But then the communication aspect, like we covered the embedded commands, we uncovered the suggestions. For example, if I say to you, you want to get people on a live stream into the agreeable state, right? And the way you do that, you have these micro yeses. So you get them nodding their head before they come to the end of the live stream, because at the end of the live stream, you're wanting to make an offer that's irresistible, that has scarcity, that has FOMO embedded in it, that it's now or never kind of offer. I know a lot of people do the offers, but
they're missing out. So let me do this. You said something, Richard. I hate to stop you, but these are some vocabulary words that we're going to be able to walk away from this with. And you call it the micro yeses?
Yeah, you want to get the micro commitments and the micro yes. So every small yes leads to a bigger yes, right? For example, you would agree, wouldn't you, that the sky is blue and it's a beautiful day outside? I mean, that is an accomplished fact. You would agree with something that if you were to have, let's just say, the highest end Mercedes that you could drive, you would agree, wouldn't you, that you might as well go the extra mile and get your initials in the headrest.
Might as well.
You might as well, because that is an accomplished fact, that you are accomplished, right?
Right.
And when you undeniably say yes, you believe that to be true to go to the next step. So, it's micro commitments, and here's the thing, when somebody gives you like a reinforcement, especially if you're co-hosting, and someone says, now that is right. When you get someone to agree to something, it's an undeniable truth. In other words, there's only one answer. You would agree, wouldn't you, that it's beautiful in the Seychelles Islands? Well, I don't know, but I guess it is, because it's paradise and it's in the Seychelles, and it must be because the sky is blue, the ocean is turquoise, and it has to be beautiful. And you would understand that, wouldn't you? And you might say, yeah, that's one place I'd love to visit is the Seychelles. I've heard it's paradise. And then I would say, when you're right, you're right. It's just another agreement tactic.
Now so let me try this, Richard. Let's do it. I have a customer base, real estate agents. Okay. So I have a video, and I'm trying to get real estate agents, number one, to understand what my video is about. And number two, have a couple of micro yeses to engage them. So I would start off.
What is your offer to the realtors? What is your offer?
The offer would be a mini course.
Okay, a course in
a mini course about how to use video content to garner more customers,
okay, perfect.
like
Yeah,
using a YouTube channel to garner more customers.
perfect. Yep.
All right. So,
Yeah.
are you a real estate agent and you're having a hard time getting more customers?
Yeah.
Like, do you understand that 2023 is another great year
Yeah.
for real estate and you're missing out?
Yeah.
Would you be willing to give me 10 minutes of your time to teach you how you can just get one more customers? Like in 10 minutes, if you give me 10 minutes, I can give you a new customer
Yeah.
today. Would you be willing to do that?
Yeah. So what you're
What if I
doing?
tell,
Yeah,
go ahead.
you're doing the jab, 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 punch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then I would say, well, this video today is all about how to use YouTube videos
Yeah.
to be a thought leader in your space, in your city for real estate to garner more customers.
Love it. Yeah. Why?
If
Why?
you're ready,
Yeah.
we're going to dive in right now.
There's no reason why you wouldn't want to take that offer, and you're scratching the itch. They have
I
an
like
itch,
that.
and you have a solution to the itch, because
I
yeah,
mean, what real estate agent doesn't want more customers, right?
and two things I would add is so a phraseology which is good is saying and is saying along the lines of, are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? I mean
Stop. Okay, hold on, Richard. Hold on. Let me stop you because this is good stuff. Erica, I don't know if you're getting this. If you're watching this in a replay and you don't take a minute to just write that down, like this line, if
oh,
there was a hook, this is one of the top 10 hooks you could ever use.
yeah,
So I don't know, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels,
yeah.
TikTok Reels, Facebook Reels, opening. Are you sick and tired of
Of being
being sick and tired?
so obviously you're going to micro niche down. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Then you follow up. I mean, are you tired of being left behind in 2023 when it comes to getting more listings? So that would be like a sub. And are you tired of being overpowered by the giants on Zillow and so there's your third one. There's your, just like what you had. So
Do you think it should go in threes with that, or does it matter?
really matter. I personally, when you give a hypnotic command, it's always done in the power of threes, because we're growing up to go ready, set, go at 1, 2, 3. So I like to do it in the powers of threes. Problem, 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 solution, because that way it just resonates with them. And that's the whole ethos of a funnel. You're gonna search for a funnel because you have a problem that something in that funnel is going to solve. And then what
Right,
you do in the funnel is enlarge the problem. So they're obsessing it, they're possessing it, but you have a solution to their worries, troubles, ailments, and illnesses and problems that this thing is going to solve in 3 easy steps. 1, you do this. 2, you push the button, and 3, that happens. So yeah, I mean, that's great. That's great language. I mean, that's great terminology to start a hook of any live stream or any video. It's getting them agreeing to you is what you're doing. Yeah, they are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Yeah, they are being left behind in 2023. Nobody's going to say, no, 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 I'm perfectly fine, and tune off, because no, the headline grabbed them. The
and
head.
if you are talking to the number one agent, he's either trying to get better or it's just one person. You go to number two, he's not number one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and you know what? Even if the person is number one, so I work with people that are number one in their industry. There's always someone creeping up the ladder. Someone's
Right,
holding the ladder, but somebody's already on the second level of that ladder. Even though you're at the top, there's always somebody else. You're not going to live forever. You're not bomb proof. Someone else is on their way up, because all they're doing is they were taught by other people like Russell Brunson and other people. They were taught, and Tony Robbins, model other people's success. They're taught that you don't rip
right,
somebody's content off. You don't funnel hack them or anything like that, but you model somebody else's success. So it makes sense. If somebody's the top realtor, there are people modeling their success. The
right.
only thing that's separating is time and money. Time, money, and because you can learn skill set.
You can.
You can get really good at it. Same with a live stream. Same with language. And the other thing is you got to give deliverables, and you've got to give. I believe in giving guarantees. I'm so confident that my solution works that if it doesn't within the first 30 days, the risk is on me and you'll get your money back. Risk aversion. It's like my risk, not yours. So why wouldn't you? And the other thing I was going to mention is one thing I like to say is in that, you've got the problem, you've got the solution is I like to say all of my clients enjoy the same success that you would. That's just future
Wow.
proofing. Yeah. All my clients enjoy the same success that you will. It's like predictive language.
No, hey, listen, I stopped, Richard, because I'm writing this down. All of my
All of
clients,
my clients enjoy the same success that you will, or you wrap
because
it into whatever language that is appropriate. Because what you're saying is, not only do you have a lot of clients, not only do you have a lot of viewers, it might even be just viewers, right? If it's YouTube, all my viewers enjoy the kind of success that you will if you tune in at 7 o'clock tomorrow night as I unwrap and unlayer the 5 dirty secrets to real estate and how language can impact on the sales of properties. It's almost like I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to show you. So when a realtor walks into a home that they're trying to sell, the worst thing they do is they walk in and they show the property in a way that's not conducive to somebody to buy the property. They do it wrong because their mindset's not engaged because they're in real estate mode. It's much better to say, look, I'm not here to sell anything to you because you're already going to sell it to yourself. I'm just here to show you how beautiful this property is. And if you have any questions, I'll be outside. But I want you to look around, think, feel, and imagine where you would put your Christmas tree or where you would put your ornaments or where would you all celebrate Thanksgiving. I want you to imagine that and take a deep breath in. And can you see the little pet running around, the dog? Can you see your kids outside in the yard? Can you imagine living here? Because if you can't, let's go to the next one. It's just
wow.
we buy things based on emotion and justify it with logic later. We don't worry about the
So
price tag, worry about how it makes us feel.
feel, and when you get into that feeling emotion, when you get into that emotion, a lot of times as a salesperson, and we have to put it in the context of a content creator as well. But as when somebody's buying something,
Yeah.
you get into that emotional
Yeah.
feeling, you have them hooked because
Yeah.
feelings and emotions are not facts.
And you can be honest with them. So let's say you're selling a high ticket item. Let's just say it's $10,000 or $15,000 and it's a mentorship or coaching. And you're coaching them how do the power of video for selling real estate in 2023, or discover the power of selling real estate in 2023, and it's a high ticket item, it's a $15,000 coaching class or something like that. It's good to say, hey, I know what you're thinking. A lot of my successful clients had immediate resistance too, but I'm not here to sell it to you. I'm just here to provide information for you. And when you see what I see and you see these successes that other people can and will enjoy, you'll make the right choice.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
not selling, you're providing, you're the friend in the room. You're a friend in the room providing information. And of course, you disarm them on the live stream because I don't care whether you take it or not. I just know it works for my clients and for myself. Where's the evidence? I'm not going to show you a Ferrari and some fancy watch and some, fabricated lifestyle of all this, all that. Just follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Facebook. You'll see what I see soon and you'll realize where the success lies. But make your own choices. Last thing I want is buyer's remorse. So I will offer a money back guarantee if you feel remorseful within the first 30 days. So now all the risk is on me. But of course, that's not going to happen to you because you're smart. You're going to sit down and talk about where you're going to spend your $15,000 and how you're going to catapult yourself in the next 12 months and become a megastar with hundreds of thousands of followers. You're
That is
painting the picture and the scene, and you're backing it up with quality content, of course, quality
right.
content. So I think,
Listen, Richard, I'm going to stop you here because I think that it is illegal for people like you to be walking around with normal people like us. Like this is completely illegal. If you guys are not stopping this, rewinding this, and getting exactly what he's saying, I hate to stop him because I'm like soaking all of this up. And to have someone trained in the art of persuasion and hypnosis to be, because I did sales in the past. Okay,
yeah,
so I sold cars in a
yeah,
past life, right?
I love car sales.
And
I love
say
it.
that again.
I love car sales. because
I
this,
see. Like you would be ridiculous. Like every salesperson would be mad at you, and all the sales managers would absolutely love you. We'd be
yes.
like, "What did you say to him?" I just told him, "Hey, tell me. This is what I would use. Hey guys, I know you like this car. Tell me where you guys will go first after you buy this."
Oh, that's nice. See, that's so what you're doing is you're painting the picture of, you know what we'll do? We're going to go around the neighborhood. You know,
Or
because
we're gonna go to the beach. We're gonna go vacation to the beach with this car. Why? We're
yeah,
getting ready to, visit our kids or getting ready to visit grandma in our new car. Like
we
they needed to
yeah,
see themselves
yeah.
in that car. So it makes it easy when we get to the negotiating table.
And you know,
And I want
when you're selling a car, it's such an emotional purchase. No one cares about the price of gas at that point. So when the salesperson is saying just what it does miles per gallon, or the fact that it guzzles whatever, no one cares about that. They care about how it makes them feel. But more importantly, we buy a lot of things based on what other people think about us,
exactly
especially on social media. So it's funny because like when I show you the key, we all know that symbol and we all know how that makes us feel.
right.
If I was to say I'm Richard Barker and I'm super successful, and hold up the key fob to a Honda or a Toyota, it, people are
It
like,
doesn't translate.
doesn't translate. So this is a stupid purchase. It's bad on gas. It's expensive. It is only a car that gets from point A to B, right? But how it makes me feel is more successful. It's more aware of my surroundings. I feel the person that's unstoppable and achieve. It's almost like when you fly first class, there's this different mindset that you start to speak to the, it's, you know, in coach class, you don't speak to the person next, very rare. You just kind of do your own thing, stick your headphones on. But when you're in first class, you start, oh, hi, as another successful person just like me.
Right.
It's a mindset
Right.
thing. And when you start talking to each other, lots of business happens because you're opening up this dialogue that you wouldn't always, not all the time, but you wouldn't necessarily have in a different environment. That's why people join country clubs. They don't question the fee, they question who are they going to meet and who are the other members. It's definitely a psychological thing that you buy the membership to be seen at the country club. It's a if I'm seen at the country club, I must be successful. I've already told myself
Right.
I am. So it's tokenisms. But what if you could walk around in the world already believing this to be true and an accomplished fact? Then you don't need the country club and you don't need the assets like the vehicle, the this, because you're a walking success machine and your mindset is more congruent to attract the people into your life that you want, the right customer, your ideal customer.
I like that. And I like the idea that you would even teach people how to have that confidence. I will tell you this, um, Richard, you know it based on how we got started today. Uh, Sometimes, especially if you're a content creator, if you're like me and you live stream, I really believe in live streaming, guys. I believe that you could build a community around live streaming. People could
Yeah,
come every Monday night, 7
yeah,
p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and hang out with you, and you'll
yeah,
learn them. They'll learn you. All of that really, really works, but they really get a chance to know who you are. And
yes,
sometimes when you're live and you're speaking, what's in you, regardless of how you want to act over
yeah,
time, people will understand if you're a negative personality, if you're a
yeah,
positive personality, or if you're a person with confidence. Like it would just come out because you can't censor or guard yourself that long before
yeah.
now the real person shows up, right?
And it's okay to say, "Hey, I'm having an off night tonight, guys," but I want to show up and be present because I respect your time and your commitment. But just letting you know behind the scenes, I've had a bit of a crappy day, so I apologize in advance for the fact that I might not be my bright. It's good to have that human sort of interact. And like you said, if you were just doing a pre-recorded video, you'd probably edit that out.
Right?
The not feeling very good about yourself kind of thing. But yeah, when you live stream, I mean, you really are. You're wearing your heart on the sleeve. You're somewhat unscripted. I mean, we're totally unscripted. You're somewhat unscripted and you're more vulnerable. I think because you're more vulnerable, people like that you are more vulnerable to it's not polished. It is what it is. This is raw. you know.
And we're having at this moment, we're having a real conversation, and
Yeah,
it's and people like looking in on
yeah,
real conversations. I'm a person that I'm from the South in
yeah.
Alabama of the states, right? So I
Nice.
have a certain diction. I have a certain way I pronounce words, and that is me. It's kind of like my fingerprint.
Yeah,
Like I'm not going to pronounce all of my words right.
yeah,
I may stutter a little bit, but I've been around long enough to know that that makes me who I am, and people can identify with that. If they
yeah,
wanted to watch the news and have a polished speaker, they can catch it at 6, 9, 10 o'clock at night and
yeah,
see that, right?
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
what we're doing is an opportunity for them to kind of see themselves and learn at the same time.
yeah,
Because to have you here, Richard, and the things that you've taught today, yes, there are content creator, teachers, and coaches that have said some of the things, but not from your perspective.
yeah.
Not from the perspective of the persuasion of the mind. Like I haven't heard it from that place at all. So I'm going to rewatch this. I've said it already. I mean, you just gave us so many things and a way for us to think about how can I structure my show to where I'm getting micro yeses the whole time.
And I think all persuasion occurs in the mind first. So if you can get people on an emotional level, which you can do through rapport, and you can do with deliberate words and things that you say, it's a bit like the infomercials. You know, the old infomercials where some of these guys are my heroes because they're just so good at it, right? And some of them,
Right?
you know, the Anthony Sullivans of the world and people like that, they understand the embedded commands, and it's okay to say, "By now, you'll see the benefits of my product, and by now, you'll click the link." And when you've clicked the link, you know, your future pace people, when you click the link, you're going to experience a really awesome shopping cart that actually is customized for your very needs. And I've made it easy. I took away bronze, silver, gold, platinum, pro, premium. I've given you one option and one option only, and it's to do business with me. Are you excited and are you ready? Nod your head if you understand. Go ahead and click the buy now button because you see the benefits.
Yes, sir.
You know,
I love it. That is so good.
and
That
then the
is
link,
so good.
yeah, then your CTA offer comes in, and they're all, yeah. I mean, you know, there's nothing. People know that tripwires, and they know that this one's crappy, that one's crappy, and the one in the middle is what they want you to. So just get that. You know,
Just get that.
just get that, and if you do, you'll do business with me. You'll prosper. You'll succeed. If you don't, hopefully we can bump shoulders in the future and work with each other when the timing's right. So maybe just the timing's wrong. It's okay to say no. Maybe the timing's not today, not tomorrow, not next week, but at some point in the future, you'll reconsider your decision, and it'll probably be a yes.
Or Richard, it'd be like this. You can buy today, and if you buy today, we'll give you the second one free. All you have to do is pay for shipping and handling.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm going to send my free book to you. Just pay shipping and handling.
And then
You know what?
shipping and handling is $20.
What's interesting about a live stream buyer's mind, right? Is
Okay.
it's very impulsive. So, okay, so let's just say I'm selling this pen. There we go. I'm selling this pen to you, right? And I'm
Hmm.
going to give you all the benefits of how wonderful the pen is. Not only is it long-lasting ink, not only is there a rubberized handle that protects you know, your fingers. Not only is it contoured to fit in any pocket, or not only is it engraved with your name on it that says success. You see the benefits of getting this pen, and it's only going to be $1. You'd like the pen, wouldn't you? Say yes if you understand, and I'll get it shipped to you. Yeah. You see the
Yeah.
benefits. Why wouldn't you? This is an amazing pen. And the thing is, when you buy the pen, that's when the other offer pops in. You're already in the agreeable state. You've already said yes, so you might as well buy another one at 50% off because
Right.
you've already said yes the first time, half off for the second one. Why wouldn't you do that? Or get a multi pack because
Painted of many colors. Now we have a pack
yeah,
with multiple colors.
it's like you want that leather jacket, don't you? So you look good on a Saturday night.
Right.
Might as well have it in red as well for half off the value of the black one. Might as well. So you know, so that language is. It should be. I think if you are offering something on live stream, which most people are, a product or a service, or gaining more followers, there does have to be some really good call to action that you're ready for. But don't spring it on people at the end so they all just click off. Just tell them at the beginning, I'm going to give you an irresistible offer that you can't refuse. You can lead with that. because after all, that's what you're going to do. Because remember the days of the webinars when it was you sign up for the free webinar and, oh, here it comes. There's the rapport building. There's the backstory. There's the congratulating all the former success. Here it comes. There's the slideshow of, sitting on the car and leaning over the pool with, thousands of people in the pool all chanting your, and here it is. And here it comes. And here comes the offer, and it's crappy. It's not stacked very well, and the offer, it's like, oh no, it just fumbled. The offer fumbled if you still stick around. So you might as well say at the beginning, hey, I know we're all busy. I'm just going to cut to the chase. Here's the link below. This is my offer. And at the end, you can click on it or click on it now. I don't care, but I'm going to give you some quality content that you can't live without, because I know you're sick and tired of doing this. So here's the link already, and let's get on with today's content.
Let's get started.
And it's just better because it's like, yeah, oh, they're not springing a surprise on me. And the emotional attachment is, I trust that person because they're being upfront about what they're doing. They're not hiding. Here's the 7 secrets to success, but only giving me 6. And the 7th is locked away in this other,
behind the paywall.
Yeah, behind the paywall. So, it's better to, I love real estate too, because realtors are great because they're hungry, they're ambitious, they're keen. They can really make an incredible income.
Right.
But the way a lot of them are trained and the way they show real estate is appalling.
Yeah, they're not good salespeople.
No, because they're not understanding it's an emotional sale.
So let me ask you this question. I know I've had you here for a while, and I want to kind of ask a couple of questions, kind of rapid fire. And as a content creator, we talked about words and statements, and you've given us some great ones today. Is there a word or a phrase that you would use more often to be persuasive with?
Visualize would be my word. Visualize or imagine.
I'm writing it down.
Imagination is more powerful than knowledge. That was either I think it was Albert Einstein or Winston Churchill. The intelligent use of knowledge is power, and that is Winston Churchill. But imagination is everything. If you can get somebody to imagine something to be true on a live stream, that's more important than anything else you ever deliver. Because when they're listening to what it is you're saying and what you're teaching, they're actually thinking it into existence. They're thinking it to be true. They're seeing if they can see themselves actually stepping into the role that you're describing, right?
So I know we have just gotten, so I'm sorry, I'm always thinking in my mind, okay, we got this real, I'm using the example of the realtors because it's just the theme of the day, right? Yeah. So I'm about to get started with this video, but what I want you to do before I get started is visualize yourself on the flyer for the top salespeople next month.
Love it.
Everybody's seeing you. You're able to share it on your social media that you are the top salespeople. Well, if you give me 20 minutes of your time, I'm going to get you there.
I love it.
Or you would say, guaranteed that you will learn something that could get you there.
Yeah. It's like the old-fashioned multi-level marketing companies and all the, the Amways and all those kind of companies. It's all about giving awards and walking across the stage and receiving your accolade and your star and your badge and so what it really is that, because they walk across the stage and they get this plastic pen, and it's not about the pen, it's about the status and the elevation of how it made them feel.
It's tapping into that feeling.
So this is just symbolic, right, as a reminder. But it's funny because if a lot of your clients are online, imagine as if one day we meet and you're telling me your success stories. Imagine as if you become my next case study for success. I use you as the boilerplate, the template, the blueprint for everything you should do correctly to make a multi-million-dollar business out of real estate. Imagine if I use you as the shining example. You can see that, can't you? And you can see that it's closer than you think it was. It's actually just a thought process away.
I love it. I love it. So we talked about words and phrases, and you gave us some good ones to use. Yeah. What about color? Does color at all add to the visuals of imagination or say something to people as they're watching your content? So shirt,
Yes,
background,
yeah.
do you use color at all when you're doing hypnosis or persuasion? Do you use color at all?
I honestly don't, because I don't think I know there's lots of research in, pink walls make you less angry and make you happier, and if you use yellow it does this and does that. I'm not convinced. I think the three things you need to worry about is auditory. So some people are very auditory. That's the way they learn and receive information. Some people are more visual. Some people are kinesthetic, so they need to feel it, touch it, create it in their own minds, right? The kinesthetic. So I think color isn't as important
Gotcha.
as saying something like, for example, just imagine your favorite sports car and you've just won it because you were achieving greatness in your real estate company. What color is the car? It's
Right.
silver. Why is it silver? Well, because that means success to me. Sterling silver means success. Why not gold? Oh no, I don't like gold. I would rather tap into that. So when it comes to like colors of a backdrop, I don't think it's really as relevant and as important as people make out, because you might like purple, I might like green, I might like feeling in a forest, you might like. So I don't think that actually really does come to play. I think it's more about sights and sounds when it comes to live streaming.
I got
You
you.
know,
While you were explaining that, you snapped your finger twice. Does that help at all?
yes, because it's actually what you're doing is you're doing an emphasis, like a trigger. Like you can see it, can't you? You see that?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you saw that, didn't you? Yeah,
I did.
saw it. You saw it actually. So I think something like that, and that's why people use sound effects. So
Right.
every time you hear a ding, it's time to recognize another one of your super subscribers, a super host, or sorry, a super, one of the people that,
Sticker, super sticker.
yeah. So off it goes randomly. Ding. I would like to thank Daphne for being, a power user of my platform. Um, or being a super sticker, so the thing is, you can by that sound effect, people get used to that, like Maslow's bell, where all the dogs would salivate because they would just hear the bell. um, there's a lot of things that have always been done over time, and a simple snap of a finger is, listen up, this is important.
That's good. That's good.
It's
I like that.
almost like a bullet point. Otherwise it becomes quite monotone, and you just kind of like talking, and it's like, all right, here we come, and this little golden nugget right now is going to change your world and change your life. If only you could do the things that's missing out from most people's lives. And you know what that one thing is that everybody misses out on? Everybody wish they could do this one thing. Do you know what it is? That people, do you know what holds them back and creates obstacles, hurdles, and barriers? It's almost like you feel like you have 3 feet on the brake, and that one thing that you can do right now that others don't achieve and fail miserably at. Do you know what that is?
What's that?
Taking action. It's taking action. Action takers get rewarded. People love action and action takers. So I'm going to ask you to take action right now, and by now you'll realize the benefits of mindset.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Otherwise,
So,
otherwise they don't have they don't have their own call to action to do something positive that's going to impact on them.
I love it. So Erica from Talk Virtual here says she totally missed the two snaps until I mentioned it, and Richard did it again. So
All the time, by the way, I've done it. If you go back through this entire replay, I've actually finger snapped a few times here to get you conditioned into paying attention and focusing.
well, it definitely works for me because I was into it.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
engaged.
really, really into it. Like this has been great, Richard. I definitely appreciate you. Coming and being a part of the show today. Let me get this banner off here. Let me see why it's sticking here. So I want to do this because me and her laughed today. So Erica's been laughing
Or
at
you can
us.
take the pens and the 2 leather jackets and take the keys to success.
There you go.
Nice.
I love it. I love it. Richard, man, you've been awesome.
No problem. Yeah,
Um,
great meeting you. Yeah, and obviously your followers and your group of like-minded people. It's good to all learn together and enjoy each other's success too. So it's good to
Yeah,
see.
and when we get a chance to have these type discussions, Richard,
Yeah,
to be honest with you, it takes us all to the next level.
yeah, yeah,
Like it
absolutely.
really does take us all to the next level. So
Yeah.
I'm appreciative of what you've done. So on behalf of OneStream, thank you so very much for taking
Thank
the
you.
time to hang out with us. I mean, it's people like you in our community that help us all grow. So I'm hoping, Richard, that we're connected. I have your email address,
Yeah, yeah.
Facebook, Instagram. Hopefully, I can have you come back on, and maybe we can do some more stuff with this.
What part of
Wait,
Alabama are you residing in?
say that again. I'm in Birmingham.
So next time I'm passing through, because I go on tours and I go all over the country, and I'm in literally all 50 states between cruise ships and land-based gigs. I'll roll on through to Alabama and get you hypnotized.
Oh, please come to Alabama. I want to give you some barbecue. We
Right.
cannot do the hypnotic stuff. There's some things in here I want to keep locked up. All right.
I understand. I understand.
I'm trying to keep it together so no one comes after me, you know?
Yeah. What if
Um,
I was to hypnotize you to never believe you even had those thoughts in the first place?
well, that could work
Just a
or
distant.
not. Maybe I want to keep them. I just don't want anybody else to know about them.
Maybe it's like opening the can. I'm trying to get the lid back on, going, oh, it's time.
Right, right. Oh, that's too much, man. Again, thank you so very much for
You're welcome.
this. And you've been incredible. So if you give me just 1 second, I want to end the show out today. So hold what you got, Richard. I don't know about you, but today was outstanding. Okay. And if you're watching this and you feel like, hey, Strick, man, I could do what you're doing and I could really, really be a help to the community and you want to join the Streamers program, you can absolutely do that by sending your profile to content@onestream.live. Email them your social media profiles, whatever one you think is the best, where you have the most audience, all of that. Let's see what you have and see if you can join our streaming program. We would absolutely love to have you and love to have your information. Okay. That being said, this is, something that we do every Monday night. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You got me, DJ Strick, in the Streamers Hub, and I can't tell you how much I really enjoy being here with you. So if you don't do anything else, see me next Monday. Let me see if I can use something Richard would say. Imagine yourself next Monday night at 7 p.m. watching my countdown and learning more about OneStream Live. I'll see you. Hey, this is DJ Strick, and I've had an awesome time with you today. Thank you for watching another edition of the Streamers Hub right here on OneStream Live.